Hi, everyone, and a pleasant good evening to you wherever you may be. I am Tony Abate, and we are back in the Tiger Dome this evening as the Fort Scott Lady Tigers get a chance to take on the Labette County Lady Grizzlies here this evening. Both teams looking for a couple of big wins here tonight. Fort Scott is going to start with their regular starting lineup. We'll announce those ladies in just a few moments. And we're underway here this evening as the opening tip is won by Labette County. Your first quarter tonight brought to you by Edward Jones financial advisor Jamie Armstrong. And we got a whistle here, and it looks like we've got a turnover going to be called. So the ball goes back to Fort Scott, or to Fort Scott for the first time here tonight. Keegan Yark down the floor, kicks it out to Allie Brown. Now back over to Gorman. Abby Gorman with the basketball here. Back around. Gorman thought about a three. Now kicks it back to Keegan, and we got our first foul of the game. It's going to be on Landry O'Brien of Labette County. Keegan has the basketball on the right side, left side wing rather. Now tries to get it inside to Comstock, and we got another foul on the Lady Grizzlies. Addison Rexwinkle will pick up this foul. So two fouls, and now inbounds play for the Lady Tigers. They get it into Kylie Comstock. Shot too strong. Rebound taken there by Labette, and it's knocked out of bounds by Labette. Lady Tigers tonight, they're going to start with 5'6" sophomore Abby Gorman. And now the pass goes in there to Kylie Comstock, and she'll hit the first points of the evening. Now Labette back with the basketball. Kick to the corner. Now it's knocked out of bounds. And it'll go back over to Fort Scott. Keegan Yarrick drives in, lost it for a moment, has it over to Gorman. Shot there doesn't go for Abby Gorman, and Labette County comes away with the rebound. 6 minutes to go here in the first quarter. All quickly down the floor, and a shot is good there for the Lady Grizzlies. That was Landry O'Brien, so she gets the first Labette County points of the evening. Now we got a whistle here, and ball was knocked out of bounds, I believe. And, it is going to be a foul on Labette. That'll be their third team foul of the quarter. And a substitution is Aubrey Boss. 5'9" junior will check in. Foul was on Keaton O'Brien, her first. So 5'6" senior Keaton O'Brien, 5'7" senior Nevaeh Jones, as we got a basket. As Keegan Yarrick hits a three-pointer, her first points of the night. Now we've got a three-pointer at the other end for Labette. It's no good. Rebound Fort Scott. Quickly down the floor. Layup is good for Keegan. Might have caught there in the pregame ceremonies. They honor her for scoring 1,000 points. She did that the last time out. Now a steal by Keegan. Ahead to Gorman. Shot is good. And just like that, the Lady Tigers have caught fire. They lead it 9-2. And we're going to get a timeout called by Labette County. 4:57 to go here in the first quarter. A little bit of a slow start again for the Lady Tigers, but they get the momentum here. And they now lead it 9-2. Just over 3 minutes into this one here tonight. So coming out of the 30-second timeout, it'll be Lady Grizzly basketball. Again, Fort Scott with a great start to this one here. Now we got a whistle, and it looks like a foul going to be called on the Lady Tigers this time. That'll be on Abby Gorman for the first time tonight. So again, the Lady Tigers started tonight with 5'6" sophomore Abby Gorman, 5'6" senior Raven Kegler. Shot missed, rebound inside by Fort Scott. 5'6" junior Allie Brown, 5'9" senior Keegan Yarrick, and 5'11" junior Kylie Comstock. Now we got a whistle, and they're going to call a charge on Labette County. That'll be the second foul on Landry O'Brien. And she may have to come out with 4:25 to go in the first quarter. And she will come out as Libby Poole, a 5'7" senior, checks in for the Lady Grizzlies. The ball is knocked out of bounds by Labette County, so it'll stay with Fort Scott. 4:20 to go here in this one. Pass goes inside. It's knocked out of bounds. Last touched by Labette. So it'll stay with Fort Scott here. You get it to Raven. Fort Scott has not subbed yet. Labette has subbed a couple of times. One in particular for foul trouble. Here's a drive by Gorman. She'll put one up, too short. Rebound taken by Gorman, though. Got it back, trying to get it to a teammate there, and it's knocked away, and now we got a foul on Fort Scott, I believe. 3:50 to go here in the first quarter. Lady Tigers with a nice little burst there a few moments ago. They lead it 9-2 over Labette County, and now we got another substitution for the Lady Grizzlies as they will get Allie Martin into the game. She is a 5'6" senior for the Lady Grizzlies. Looks like Fort Scott's going to have a sub at the next opportunity as J.C. Rogers is headed to the scorer's table. Labette in the black uniforms tonight with the red letters and numbers. Here's a three-pointer, and that one goes for Kaiten O'Brien. Now ball knocked out of bounds by Labette, so it'll stay with Fort Scott. The Lady Tigers will get J.C. Rogers into the contest now. And she will replace Raven. And now Allie Brown will take the inbounds play. Into the corner. They get it back to Allie. Three-pointer is good. Ball loose on the floor, picked up by Gorman for Fort Scott. She'll come down the court quickly, but then backs things off just a little bit as they get it into the front court. 2:45 to go here in the first quarter. 12-5, Fort Scott with the lead over Labette County. Could potentially be a big night for the Lady Tigers here this evening, as they could clinch a couple of things. I'll tell you about that as we move along here tonight with a victory. Drive by Keegan is good. So Keegan on the night, she was honored before pregame for scoring her 1,000th point at Chanute the other night. And a whistle, and they're going to call a travel on Labette County. It has been a great start for Fort Scott. It has been a miserable start for Labette County. Now they will have sub as Jaden Davis, a 5'9 junior, checks into the game. Fort Scott hoping to be able to take advantage here. Pass ahead, and it's deflected. It's loose. It goes out of bounds. Last touch by the Lady Grizzlies. Well, they're going to get a foul on Fort Scott instead. So they've called a foul. I'm not really sure why, but they've called a foul on Keegan Yarick. So they'll give the ball back to Labette County, and that's the second foul on Keegan here tonight. Three-pointer on the way. That one in and out, no good. Rebound taken by Fort Scott. Keegan's got it. Now back to Allie Brown. Oh, Abby Gorman was wide open under the basket. Goosed it just a little too much. And a putback is also no good by J.C. Rogers. Now it goes out of bounds. They'll say it was last touched by Labette this time. So 1:27 to go here in the first quarter. Fort Scott's going to get the ball back. And now we've got a very enthusiastic timeout called by head coach Brianna Vollmer of the Labette County Lady Grizzlies, as she was very displeased with how Fort Scott got two wide open girls. Not one, but two. J.C. Rogers was open on the backside block. Abby Gorman was open on the front side block. They got the pass to Abby. Unfortunately for Fort Scott, they missed the shot from Abby and the putback from J.C., so it didn't go down as what it probably should have been for Fort Scott, which was points. But Coach Vollmer not happy at all with the start that her Lady Grizzlies have had here in this one. Credit to the Fort Scott Lady Tigers. They know coming into tonight, I'm sure they do, they could clinch at least a share of the SEK League crown tonight. With the win here, they would have the tiebreaker with Labette County, so if they would clinch the 1 seed potentially if they had an SEK League tournament if they win here tonight, because they'd be 3 games up over Labette County with 3 games to go. Here's a three-pointer from Allie Brown. It's no good, but the rebound was, they're going to call a foul. They are going to call a foul. So Aubrey Yarick picks up her first, team's 4th of the quarter. Keegan will check out now as Claire McElroy will check in for the Lady Tigers. So still 14-5, Fort Scott. Now a steal by McElroy. Right off the bench to get the turnover, and now ball knocked out of bounds. Or say it stays with Fort Scott here. Nope, they are going to give it. They're going to change it. I think it was, there's some moans and groans from the Lady Tiger faithful, but I think it did go off of Claire last and out of bounds. So it'll be back to Labette County. Checking back in, Kylie Comstock for the Lady Tigers as she'll replace Allie Brown. Fort Scott trying to ramp up that pressure a little bit. Drive to the bucket is no good for Labette. The ball goes out of bounds, and it'll stay with the Lady Grizzlies. 42.3 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Fort Scott with the lead, 14-5. A nice burst mid-quarter for Fort Scott. Resulted in a timeout, or caused a timeout to be called. Now a three-pointer on the way. That one's good for Labette. Have they sustain the tide, so to speak, as they've cut it now to 14-8. Fort Scott has their best player on the bench right now, Keegan Yarrick, with 2 fouls. Now they're going to get Keegan back in the contest here with 22 seconds to go in the quarter. She'll come in and replace her sister, Aubrey, and now Allie Brown will come back in also as Abby Gorman will take a seat. Inbounds play comes into Brown. Fort Scott, I'm sure, will try if they can, unless they get a really good shot, to save for the final shot here of the quarter. Shot there is no good by Comstock. Rebound Labette. They'll come back down into the front court quickly. Nice block shot by Kylie Comstock. 2 seconds, 1 second, and the quarter will end, and Fort Scott with the lead. 14-8 here at the end of the first quarter. The Fort Scott Lady Tigers with the lead here in this one so far. Again, your first quarter brought to you by Edward Jones financial advisor Jamie Armstrong. Edward Jones has been advising customers in the world of finance for over 100 years. Financial advisor Jamie Armstrong continues that tradition in Fort Scott. Contact Jamie by phone at 620-223-1866 or email Jamie at jamie.armstrong@edwardjones.com. So Labette will start the second quarter with the basketball here. Get it down into the corner. Now back around. It comes to the top of the key. Now we got a whistle, and it looks like a foul going to be called on Fort Scott here. A little bit too much contact that time. And that'll be the first foul of the quarter for Fort Scott. And it goes on J.C. Rogers, her first of the game. And now free throws for Labette as Abby Gorman and Raven Kegler check back in. Second shot is good, so one is in there for Jaden Davis. Now Fort Scott facing a little bit of pressure. They'll get it across the timeline. Now a steal. Shot is good. That time, I believe, by Kaiten O'Brien. The foul there is going to go on Jaden Davis. Her first. And Fort Scott can't take advantage as they turn it over again. Pass goes inside. A little scoop shot, no good, but a foul on the Lady Tigers. Foul's on Kylie. That's her first. And Jaden Davis goes back to the free throw line for 2 more. Just went 1 for 2. Makes the first one here. Second one no good, but she gets the rebound. Now a 3-pointer in the corner. That one off the mark, no good. Rebound batted out. Now ball goes inside for Labette. Shot blocked out of bounds by Kylie Comstock. It's Kinsley Boss with the attempt, but Kylie said not yet. But here we have the scenario as Fort Scott at one point was leading 9-2. And now after a couple of timeouts and some momentum flip-flopping here, Labette County has cut it back to 2 at 14-12. Now Fort Scott will work against this zone press, full court, 3/4 court press from Labette County here. Pass deflected, and I'm going to say white basketball, Fort Scott basketball over on the far sideline. Couldn't quite tell from where we're at, but it did look like, or at least the call anyway, was that Labette County got to the ball, touched it as they were out of bounds. So even though the ball stayed in bounds, the Labette player was out of bounds when she touched it, so that's the stoppage there. Over to Gorman on the right side. Now a 3-pointer from Keegan, and it goes in, out, and back in. That'll get Fort Scott on the scoreboard for the first time here in the second quarter, and now we got a whistle and a foul on Keegan. She was not happy with the call. You got to be careful with that. Things have gotten a little contentious already in this game, and that's the 3rd foul on Keegan tonight. So she'll have to come. I'm sure she will come out here. Yeah, she will come out. And Claire McElroy will check back in. 5:48 to go in the second quarter. We'll see if Keegan will stay on the bench for the rest of the first half or not. Might depend on how the game goes here as the pass goes right inbounds to Labette. Shot missed, though. Rebound, Fort Scott. Kylie came out of there with it, over to Brown, and Allie will work it up the floor for Fort Scott. Allie goes right side to Gorman. Now McElroy steps up and buries a 3. Claire McElroy is 6th on the team with 29% from three-point range. She has kind of cooled off in recent weeks, but buries a big one there, and Fort Scott goes back up by 8. And the Lady Tigers will take their first time out tonight. We've got great sponsors that help us out this year. They've helped us out all year long, and they include H2 Painting LLC, the right way the first time. Look them up on Facebook at facebook.com/H2PaintingSCK or call them at 620-605-2769. Joey Fritter is a loan officer from Open Mortgage. Open Mortgage is a multi-channel mortgage lender believing that better is possible, constantly striving to bring a better mortgage experience to everyone. Joey can assist you when buying a home from start to finish. Her office is located at 1 East Wall Street in Fort Scott. Call today to get pre-qualified for a home loan at 620-644-8146. Inbounds play for Labette is over everyone's head and out of bounds, so it'll go back over to Fort Scott. 5:17 to go here in the second quarter of play. Lady Tigers have scored 6 straight points. They've gone from up 2 to up 8 once again, and there's a couple of big things on the line here for Fort Scott tonight. We mentioned earlier they can clinch. It would be a share of the SEK League crown, but a win tonight over Labette County as the shot inside by Kylie Comstock is no good. A win tonight would put Fort Scott 3 games ahead of Labette County with 3 games to go. and they've got the tiebreaker because they would have beaten Labette both times. So essentially, if there was an SEK League tournament, say, at the end of the year, Fort Scott would clinch the 1 seed with a victory tonight over Labette County, even though there is a chance that they could both end up with the same league record at the end of the regular season. Also, Fort Scott, I believe if my math is correct, they could clinch home court advantage, not the 1 seed in the East, but home court advantage in the East through the sub-state, which would be a top 4 spot. They're obviously number 1 right now, but a win tonight, I believe, would help them clinch a top 4 spot, which would give them 2 home games and mean that they would not have to leave the Tiger Dome until they take a trip to Salina, if that's in the cards for Fort Scott this year. Foul is going to be on Kinley Boss of Labette County, her first. And second on the Lady Grizzlies here in the quarter. Fort Scott trying to get it inbounds. They do get it into Raven. Back over to Kylie Comstock. Now back to Allie Brown out near the center circle. She'll work it to the right side. Stops there. Now kicks it to Comstock. Kylie drives to the right. Puts one up. That one's good off the glass. So Kylie hits a big shot there for Fort Scott. And now it's 8 straight points for the Lady Tigers as they lead it by 10 once again, 22-12. Shot inside for Labette, doesn't go. Rebound batted out. Just on the floor, taken there by the Grizzlies. Now a 3-pointer from deep. That's good. By Keaton O'Brien. And now a steal by Labette. O'Brien brings it down and gets fouled by Allie Brown. That'll be the first foul on Allie tonight. First free throw for Keaton O'Brien is good. Second one also good. We'll make it 22-17 now as that 10-point lead has been cut to 5 rather rapidly. Now Raven has it over to Kylie. Now back to Gorman at the top of the key. Back to Raven. 3-pointer on the way. Missed a little bit too strong. Kylie grabbed the rebound, but then had it taken away by Labette. Pass in, now back out it comes. We'll kick it back around to Jones. Nice hands there by Comstock as she was able to read that pass and knock it away. Raven able to pounce on top of it there. Now Gorman for 3 in the corner. Too strong. Raven with the putback. And, in and out, no good. Rebound, another chance. This time for Kylie, it's no good. They're on the floor. Ball is loose. Ball is still loose. And they finally call a jump ball. 2:21 to go in the second quarter. Possession arrow favors the Lady Tigers. J.C. Rogers will come back in. Kylie Comstock will check out. Now Fort Scott will try to get Aubrey Yarrick back in the game, and she will come in for Raven. Libby Poole has come back in for Labette County as well. Nice ball around pivot around the screen, but the shot by Brown no good. Rebound comes down to Labette County. Each time Fort Scott has taken a little bit of a lead, gained some momentum, Labette County has come back. Don't go anywhere. This is probably going to be pretty good the rest of the night. There's a shot, doesn't go. Rebound loose on the floor, still loose on the floor. Now goes out of bounds, and they'll say it was last touched by Fort Scott. Addison Rexwinkle will check back in for Labette County. And O'Brien will throw it in near the Gatorade cooler in the corner. They get it back to her for a corner three, and she made it. That is her third three in this game so far. And all of a sudden, that lead that was 2, that expanded to 10, is back to 2 for Fort Scott. Nearly gave it away there, and now we got a whistle and a tie ball. 1:30 to go in the second quarter. Some Lady Tiger fans not happy with the officiating here so far. And Labette will have the basketball back with a chance to tie or take the lead with a three-pointer. Get it down the court. Shot blocked. Taken by Rogers, knocked out of bounds. It's knocked out of bounds by Labette. So Fort Scott will get it back with 1:17 to go. Coming up on halftime. Gorman, they get it back to Gorman. Now they get it to Aubrey Yarrick. Over to Allie Brown. Shot there, doesn't go. Rebound loose, but picked up by Fort Scott. Now they go inside to Rogers. Shot is no good, but a foul on Labette County this time. Foul's going to go on Jaden Davis, her second. Now J.C. Rogers will head to the line for 2. Makes the first. Kylie Comstock will come back in as Aubrey Yarrick will check back out. Second free throw, that one doesn't go. Rebound, Labette. The lead is 3 now for Fort Scott at 23-20. Pass goes into the corner. Now kicked back around by Labette. 30 seconds on the game clock. Now they'll drive to the right corner. Back to the wing. It's a two-pointer, long two, but a two-pointer, and it's no good, but rebounded by Labette County. And they get it back out. Three-pointer here is off the glass, too strong, and now we got a foul on the rebound, and who will that be on? Going to call it on Addison Rexwinkle, her second. And now Keegan Yarrick will check back in. There's 11.9 seconds to go here in the first half. So Fort Scott will get their best shooter on the floor. Keegan, 17.9 points per game, 8.1 rebounds per game. Those are tops on the team. And they get her in, and now the ball is knocked away and stolen by Labette. Shot there at the horn doesn't go. And that will take us to the end of the first half with your score, Fort Scott 23 and the Labette County Lady Grizzlies 20. So the Fort Scott Lady Tigers with the lead here at the break. Let's run through your scoring totals here for the first half. Fort Scott, despite having 3 fouls in the game, Keegan Yardick is leading them in the point totals. She's got 10 tonight so far for the Lady Tigers. Next is Kylie Comstock with 4, Claire McElroy with 3, Allie Brown with 3, Abby Gorman 2, and J.C. Rogers 1. Labette County is being led right now by Kaiten O'Brien, who's got 13 points in this one early on. Then also 3 points for Libby Poole, 2 for Landry O'Brien, and 2 more for Jaden Davis. So Fort Scott with the lead here, 23-20. At the break. Fort Scott actually outscored Labette County 14-8 in the first quarter, but then were outscored by the Lady Grizzlies 12-9 in the second quarter. So that's why the score is 3 points right now for Fort Scott. But 2 quarters left to go, and we'll see what they can get done here in the second half. Again, the Lady Tigers, a couple of times there in that first half, they were able to push the lead out. At one point it was 9-2. At one point it was 20-12. But each time that they've done that, Labette County was able to come back and make it when it was 9-2. They went on a run, made it 12, or made it 14-10, and then Fort Scott pushed it back out 20-12, and then Labette has come back and made it a 23-20 game here at the break. So Fort Scott, definitely some things to work on a little bit. Keegan Yardick has to figure out a way to stay out of foul trouble. Maybe a couple of questionable calls, but you gotta adjust to that sometimes, and unfortunately, it's been a quick whistle tonight, but you've got to adjust to that as a player and realize that's what's going to be called. And Keegan's really a very smart kid, but also a smart basketball player, so I'm sure she understands how to play, and we know that she understands how to play with foul trouble because she's done it before this season and before in her career. If you missed early on, or maybe you couldn't hear as well, whatever the case may be there, we did get the official ceremony for Coach Stepp's 100th victory as Lady Tiger head coach, and for Keegan Yardick scoring 1,000 points last Tuesday at Chanute. So we got that before the game tonight, so good to see those folks be honored, and two folks in Coach Stepp's and Keegan Yardick that are synonymous with Fort Scott Lady Tiger basketball. When we talk about Lady Tiger basketball, especially recently, you got to talk about Coach Stepp's and Keegan, because they're two of the most important folks with this program right now, and they have really put together, between the two of them, a really good last 2 or 3 years. Could be, if Fort Scott can win this one tonight, it would clinch at least a share of their 3rd straight SEK League championship. They would also, if my math is right, would clinch a top 4 seed in the 4A East sub-state if they win here tonight, and that would assure them that they would not have to leave the Tiger Dome until they go to Salina for the state tournament. So that is something we're looking forward to. It's going to be, I'm sure, a very tight second half, as we always get a battle with Labette County. To talk about that, Labette County is number 2 in the league coming into tonight. Fort Scott at 15-1 overall, 8-0 in the SEK. Labette County 11-5 overall, and 7-2 in the SEK League. So, you're going to get a tough battle for sure from Labette County. But if you're Fort Scott, I don't know that you'd want to have it any other way, as the Lady Tigers look to hopefully get those clinching scenarios that I mentioned here tonight, and we'll see. Hopefully they can get that done this evening. Big night for the Tiger boys as well. We'll tell you about that coming up later on tonight. We'll try to keep an eye. I do a very poor job of this, but we'll try to keep an eye on the Pittsburgh Chanute game. That could be very important for the Tigers going forward. Into Friday night, and also forward as far as the league standings and the sub-state standings. Even though Pittsburgh is not a 4A school, they could still really help Fort Scott out with a win tonight over Chanute in those sub-state standings. So we'll see how that one goes, if we can get some updates from that going on later tonight. I believe that one was in Pittsburgh. I believe they played in Chanute earlier in this season, and Chanute won when they played each other earlier on the boys' side. So we'll see what happens tonight, if Pittsburgh can get that revenge, or if Chanute will pick up the sweep over the Purple Dragons. That would essentially clinch them, I believe, it wouldn't mathematically, but essentially would clinch them the SEK League title if they could win over Pittsburgh tonight, because Pittsburgh and Fort Scott are the two teams closest to them in the standings, and they would have split with Fort Scott and had a two-game lead, or two-game tiebreaker over Pittsburgh if they get the win tonight. We've got some great sponsors that have helped us out all year long. I know it feels like a broken record sometimes when I say it like that, because we've said it all year, but these folks have been phenomenal in helping us get Duck Bait going this year, and so we cannot thank them enough. State Farm agent Cale Nelson is your local agent for home and auto. Contact Cale for a quote by visiting Cale's website at calenelson.com, or give Cale a call at 620-223-2828. Looks like Fort Scott's going to start the third quarter with the basketball. So they will get it in. The ball's knocked away, though, and stolen by Labette County. Again, thanks for joining us here tonight. Turnover on the opening possession of the quarter for Labette, and now we got a shot missed there by the Lady Grizzlies. Ball eventually went out of bounds. Fort Scott will have the ball back here with 7:26 to go in the third quarter. Labette has come out with some pressure here in this game, and it's really stopped Fort Scott's runs a couple of times. Now here's a shot that goes for Keegan Yarick. Like to see that. Player has a tough first half, even though she was the leading scorer for Fort Scott. Now we got a whistle here, and they're going to get a foul on Abby Gorman. That'll be Abby's second foul. Pass goes inside, back around it comes. Shot there is no good, but a foul on Fort Scott. That'll be the second foul on Kylie Comstock here tonight as well. Leah Jones for 2 free throws, and she makes the first one here for Labette. Second one up there, and that's also good. Jones makes both free throws. Now ball stolen away by Labette, and that'll be taken in, and they are back to within 1 point. That was Landry O'Brien with the steal in the finish. Ball loose. We got a whistle, and I think they're going to get a foul on Labette County. That'll be the third one on Landry O'Brien for the Lady Grizzlies. Bounds play comes in. They get it to Keegan. Now back around to the top. They'll go left side wing to Brown for 3. She's open but missed it a little bit long. Brown has really hit a slump here the last week or so. Excuse me. As her point total has gone under double digits. She's averaging just 9.6 points per game. I say that like that's a problem. It's not. It's very good for high school basketball. As Labette misses another shot, Fort Scott grabs the rebound. Head to Raven. Shot there is no good from the side, but shot there is Putback is no good. Now Gorman comes away with the rebound. Over to Brown. Inside, and we got a foul here on Labette once again. The officials have called it a lot tighter here tonight than normal, but they've been pretty consistent with that. And again, that's something that both teams will need to adjust to. That's the third foul on Addison Rexwinkle, so she'll come out for Labette County. Inbounds play comes to Keegan. 25-24, three-pointer is good for Yarick. It's her third three of the game. Gives Fort Scott a little bit more breathing room. They lead it by 4 now, back to a 2-possession game. Ball goes into the corner, long two. It's no good. J.C. Rogers will check in here as that ball went out of bounds. So J.C. comes back in as Raven will check out for a quick breather here. 5:09 to go in the third quarter. Fort Scott leading this one by 4. Three-pointer on the way from Labette. That one doesn't go. Rebound batted towards the corner. They save it in bounds. Labette drives in, and a shot floater is good there by Kaiten O'Brien, her second two-pointer of the night. Cut it back to a 2-point game at 28-26. Now Keegan sets up for three and buries another one. Keegan Yorick, 4 three-pointers on the night so far. And now a travel called on Labette County, so they'll give it right back to the Lady Tigers. Fort Scott leads by 5, 31-26, with 4:36 to go here in the third quarter. Pass deflected there. Right to J.C. Rogers, but she missed the bunny. Putback is no good, but free throws coming for Kylie Comstock. 4:20 to go here in the third. That'll be the third foul on Jaden Davis of Labette County. 2 free throws coming for Kylie. Makes the first. Second free throw on the way. It is also good. So Kylie makes them both. That'll make it 33-26. So again, Fort Scott, a little bit of a run here. Midway through the third quarter, coming up on 4 minutes to go. Here's a shot by Labette. That one rolls around, and that'll fall in there. Stayed on that rim for quite a long while for Jaden Davis, but does fall through. And now his ball is knocked away, nearly a steal. They'll say it was out of bounds off of Labette. Fort Scott has really struggled taking care of the basketball here tonight. They've forced nearly 20 turnovers per game in league play. They've turned it over quite a bit here tonight. Credit to the Labette County defenders because they really forced Fort Scott into some tough positions. Here's a three-pointer from Allie Brown. Too strong again, but rebounded by Gorman. Over to Keegan for 3. That one's too short. Rebound inside by Labette. Fort Scott double teaming, and it's loose now again on the floor. Loose again. They get it to Brown. Inside to Gorman. Up and under move. It's good. (35-28) now. Fort Scott back out in front by 7, and we're going to have a charge called on Labette here. She used the proverbial chicken wing that time. Aubrey Boss, I believe, is the one they called it on there. Chicken wings are very good on a plate. They're not so good on the basketball court. And here's a steal by Labette. Shot, nice alter there by Allie Brown. And they're going to get a foul on Nevaeh Jones. So Nevaeh Jones was the one who got the steal, went all the way in for a layup. Allie Brown came right behind her and kind of swiped at the ball. I don't know that she hit anything, but it definitely gave Jones something to think about. She missed the layup and then gets the foul on the back end of that, and it'll put Fort Scott at the free throw line for 2. First one is good. Keegan Yarrick. Second free throw is no good for Kylie, and now we've got a whistle as we got a tie ball. So possession arrow favors Labette here. 8-point Fort Scott lead as we dip under 3 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Labette works it across the timeline to get it inside. Shot there is no good, but a foul on Fort Scott. I believe it's going to go on Claire McElroy. It'll be her first if it is. So 2 free throws coming for Labette. And the first one is no good there from Allie Martin. Second free throw on the way, a little bit too far to the left, and Fort Scott grabbed the rebound there. They get it to Brown. She'll stop, work against this press defense again for Labette. Kick it down, three-pointer in the corner, in the wing, doesn't go for Gorman, but Fort Scott grabs the rebound. Back, oh, nice little floater, or runner there in the lane is good for Allie Brown. I mentioned her point total is now, for the season, is now under 10 points per game. She was well over, or into double digits per game. That's dropped the last couple of weeks down to 9.6. She's only got 5 here tonight so far, including that previous one. Here's a layup by Labette County after each team turned it over a couple of times there, and that's good for the Grizzlies. Lead back to 6 for Fort Scott, 36-30. Just under 2 minutes to play here in the third quarter. Brown gets it across the timeline for Fort Scott. She'll set up the offense from there. It's this man-to-man defense from Labette County. Now she's picked up the dribble, kicks it over to Gorman. Now Abby drives all the way in. It missed the shot, though. Rebound, Labette. O'Brien drives all the way in. Nobody stopped her, but she missed the shot. Now we got a whistle, and they're going to call travel on the rebound there on Labette. So Fort Scott will get the ball back with 1:25 to go in the third quarter. Kylie Comstock will check back in as Claire McElroy will come have a quick breather for Fort Scott. Fort Scott breaking the press. Get it ahead to Brown. 18-footer for Brown. That one goes. Fort Scott really needs Allie Brown to get going here a little bit. I mentioned her points have dipped over the last couple of weeks, but she's got another one there. 3-7 so far tonight for Allie. And the Lady Tigers back up by 8 here as we dip under a minute to play in the third quarter. Pass goes inside. Shot there, off the glass and goes for Labette. As that was Kinsley Boss scoring her first points. Drive here. Shot is no good that time by Allie. Rebounded by Labette. O'Brien brings it down the court on the right side of the lane. Shot blocked there from behind. Fort Scott able to get the rebound, and then we got a foul on the rebound, I believe. It's going to be on Keaton O'Brien, her second. A couple of Lady Tigers at the scorer's table here. They'll wait till the first free throw is taken by Keegan Yarrick. First one is good. Second free throw is no good. Labette comes away with a rebound there. 41 to 32. I'm behind a little bit on the scoreboard. Apologize for that. Now Keegan with a drive. Shot there, doesn't go. Rebound is by Labette County, but the time is going to run out. The clock will run out here in the quarter, so Fort Scott will take the lead here at the end of the third quarter, 41 to 32. Highway 3 has modern personalized fleece name blankets along with fun and unique personalized gifts. You can also now find Highway 3 products at several retail stores in the area. For more information, follow their Facebook page at facebook.com/shophighway3 or check out their website, shophighway3.com. Starting the fourth quarter, Fort Scott has the basketball. Ball deflected but picked back up by Allie Brown. She'll drive around the defense, puts up a shot. It doesn't go. Put back inside is no good. Another chance is no good, and now Labette comes away with the ball. They get it down the court to Davis. Shot there, doesn't go. Rebound Keegan for Fort Scott. And now a foul going to be called on the Lady Grizzlies with 7:26 to go in regulation time tonight. That'll be the third one on Keaton O'Brien here this evening. Ball deflected again, and now loose on the floor. And they're going to call tie ball. So possession arrow favors Labette County here with 7:08 to play in the fourth quarter. Fort Scott with a 41-32 lead. Three-pointer on the way. That one doesn't go, but rebound chased down by Fort Scott. Keegan Yarrick will bring it down as Raven Kegler will take the pass on the wing. Now back to Kylie inside. Turnaround shot there by Comstock. Puts it in off the glass. Kylie now up to 6 points tonight. She averages just over 11 per game for Fort Scott. We got a whistle as the ball was lost out of bounds again by Labette County. Fort Scott basketball here as Grizzlies will come out in a 1-1-2-1 diamond press, but Fort Scott able to break it. Allie Brown gets it across the timeline. Now they go to Kylie inside. We got a whistle, and A lot of contact in there, and they get a foul called on Labette County. It'll be the second foul on Kinsley Boss tonight. Inbound play for the Tigers, and it's knocked away by Labette. Into the hands of Landry O'Brien, and she'll take it all the way in and lay it up and in. So O'Brien has 6. And Labette County gets their first points of the fourth quarter. 43-34. All goes right now inside, and we're going to have another foul called on Labette County. Too much contact again inside. That'll be the 4th one on Jaden Davis. I believe she was one of the 3 Lady Grizzlies that came out. They had 3 subs there. Just under 6 minutes to play. Oh, and now Gorman a little loose with the basketball. It's stolen away by Labette. And shot no good at the other end, but a foul going to be on Allie Brown as Allie got back down the court quickly. Forced a missed shot. Does pick up the foul. It'll be her second tonight. Free throws coming for Kaiten O'Brien. He's already made 2 in this one tonight, but misses the first one there. Second one on the way, does get that one. (43-35) inbounds play. Do get it in. Fort Scott has really struggled against this press here tonight from Labette County. Drive in and shot there. When they break the press, though, they've got Keegan Yarrick and everybody else on the team that's really good at making some baskets. Shot at the other end by Labette is too short. Rebound Fort Scott. Allie Brown puts one up. It misses. Now we got a whistle as I think they're going to get a foul on Fort Scott down at the other end. A 10-point lead for the Lady Tigers once again. 5:15 to go. Again, just setting up the scenarios here. Fort Scott with a win tonight would clinch a share of the SCK League Championship. They would, if you're a tiebreaker person, they would essentially have it outright over Labette County, as they would have the 2-up head-to-head victory as they won in Altamont a few weeks ago. J.C. Rogers comes back in for the Lady Tigers. 3-pointer on the way for off the inbounds play. It doesn't go. Rebound Fort Scott out to Allie. She'll bring it down the court. Gets around a couple defenders, lays it up and in. Allie Brown with a nice-looking shot there, and now we're going to have a timeout on the floor by Fort Scott as they increase that lead out to 12 now, 47-35. So Coach Steps calls a full timeout. Again, don't forget, we've got the boys game coming up next here on Duckbait TV. Be a big one for Fort Scott as well, with the situation that the boys are in with their record in the 4A standings and all of that as well. We'll talk more about that as the boys game comes up. But again, don't forget, as we will have that one for you coming up here on Duckbait TV. Liberty Savings has been in Fort Scott since 1919, helping community members with their banking needs for over 100 years. Visit them at 24 South Judson or call 620-223-0300. Chad Cousins is your local 1842 Wealth Management Financial Advisor. Contact Chad for more information by email at chad@1842wealth.com or call Chad at 620-215-9240. 5:01 to go here in the fourth quarter. Fort Scott with a 12-point lead, 47-35. I believe it's going to be Labette County basketball. Lady Tigers are going to have 4 of their 5 starters on the floor out of this timeout. Allie Brown, Keegan Yarrick, Abby Gorman, J.C. Rogers, the one non-starter, and Raven Kegler, the 5 on the floor in white for the Lady Tigers as they come out of the timeout here with 5 minutes to play in this one. Again, Fort Scott with a win tonight, which would clinch at least a share of the SCK League Championship. They would also, if my math is right, clinch a top 4 seed, which means they would not, in the 4A East standings, which means they would not have to leave the Tiger Dome until they make a trip to the state tournament in Salina in a few weeks. But we still have 4.5 to play in this one against a very good Labette County team. Shot there doesn't go. Rebound Fort Scott. Gorman brings it down the court. Hits it over to Allie. She'll pull it back out and run a little bit of clock here as the Lady Tigers lead it by 12. Pass goes into the corner to Keegan Yarick. Now back out it comes to Gorman. Back around left side to Brown. Try to get it back to Gorman there. It fumbled around. Now back over to Yarick for 3. In and out, no good. But Brown gets the rebound. Put back there. A little bit too strong. Rebound loose. It's going to go out of bounds. Who's it off of? They're going to give it to Labette County. So 4:08 to go here in the fourth quarter. Again, Fort Scott leading by 12. Raven will check out as Kylie Comstock will come back in for the Lady Tigers. And now Labette will try to work it up the floor here. Go left side with it. Now inside to the lane. Shot is no good, but a foul. And I think that's going to put the Grizzlies at the free throw line here. Coach Steps is saying, no, I think Kylie went straight up, and the official is giving him the visual of what he saw Kylie do. Looked like a pretty impressive dance move there. Maybe he should go hang out with Travis Kelsey with the dance moves there. But anyway, it's a couple of free throws for Labette, and it's good. They're both good there. So the third foul on Kylie, by the way. And now it's back to a 10-point Fort Scott lead. And now a steal, another steal by Labette County. Layup at the other end is good. And now looks like a foul on Labette this time. And it's going to go on Kaiten O'Brien. They really don't need her to foul out. They've got the lead back to 8 with 3.5 minutes to play. Still plenty of time here in this one. The ball is knocked out of bounds this time by Labette. O'Brien had 13 at halftime to lead all scorers. Oh, nice backdoor play by the Fort Scott Lady Tigers. That works to perfection. They don't overuse it, so teams, I think, forget about it. When they do, they usually have a lot of success with it. Now we're going to have another touch foul inside on Fort Scott. And if that's on Kylie, I believe it's the fourth one on her with 3:08 to go. Keegan getting an explanation. See who they call it. Yeah, they did call it on. Keegan was the one getting the explanation there. I was afraid maybe they call it on her. Either way, it's not good for Fort Scott, as that's the fourth foul on Kylie Comstock. Somebody at the scorer's table getting an explanation there. It'll be an inbound play here for Labette. I believe that's the fourth foul. Now both teams have 14 fouls, so the next team foul, as Labette will call a timeout here. The shot was good off the inbounds play by Davis. So she hits the basket, and then Labette calls a full timeout. So 3:03 to go here in the fourth quarter. Fort Scott with a 49-41 lead over Labette County. Trying to come away with another impressive victory here tonight. If they can do it, it would be their 17th this season. Ball deflected. Now they get it over, and the shot is good by Labette County. And now another turnover, or nearly a turnover. Tell you what, Fort Scott has really had some trouble tonight with Labette County's pressure. I could almost guarantee you that other teams are going to see that in film and really try to pressure the Lady Tigers here in the last few weeks. And we got a whistle, and they're going to call travel on the Lady Grizzlies, so they'll give it right back to Fort Scott here with 2:22 to play in regulation. Allie Brown trying to dribble through the defense and didn't pass it off, and it gets stolen by Kaiten O'Brien. I think Allie thought she was going to get fouled there. There was some contact. But no foul called, and then Labette gets a pretty easy shot at the other end, and all of a sudden that 12-point lead just a little bit ago has been cut down to 4. 49-45. Coach Steps calls a timeout. Nail-biting time here for the Lady Tigers. 2:05 to go here in the fourth quarter. They got to get it inbounds. They got to get it down the court. They got to run a little bit of clock time and get a good-looking shot. And we'll get it inbounds to Keegan here. And now Labette's going to pull the pressure back just a little bit here. Pass goes right side to Brown. Brown, and they're going to call a foul there on Labette County. Foul on Aubrey Boss. It'll be her second. And free throws coming for Allie Brown. First time she's gone to the line tonight. 81% free throw shooter. And misses the first. Sorry, Allie, I should have kept my mouth shut there. She is second on the team in free throw percentage coming into tonight, but misses that first one. Second one is good. Fort Scott back to 50 points. Pass goes inside. Shot off the glass is good for Labette, so they get those two right back. Jaden Davis with the bucket. Back to a three-point game, 50-47. Gorman gets around one defender. Now stops the dribble. And Fort Scott is going to call timeout. Tiger faithful wanting a foul there as Gorman got hit. So no foul called, and Fort Scott calls a timeout to try to save possession there. Fort Scott has really gotten a little bit lethargic with their passing here tonight. And Labette County's come to play. Labette County's got a lot on the line as well. They would still be in line for at least a share of the SEK League title with a win here tonight. The Lady Grizzlies would. In fact, if they win, there's a chance they could get an outright league championship, depending on how the rest of the season goes. But they also want to be in the top 4 in the 4A East, and they're 5th right now. So they've got some scenarios kind of like the Tiger boys have. And they do get a foul called here on the inbounds play, so Fort Scott will go to the line. It'll be the 4th foul on Landry O'Brien tonight. 2 free throws for Keegan, and that one does go in. She kind of coaxed that one to go through. She is a 66% free throw shooter coming in. But makes them both in that run there. So now it's a 5-point lead once again for Fort Scott. Kind of yo-yoed between 2 points and 10 points most of the night here this evening. It's back out to 5. Drive, runner there, no good. Rebound Keegan for Fort Scott. 1 minute left to go in the 4th quarter. And they will foul Keegan once again. It's on Kinsley Boss, and it is her 3rd. Keegan back to the line for 2 more. Missed the first. Nevaeh Jones will check back in here for Labette. Still a 5-point Lady Tiger lead here, 58.8 seconds to go. Second free throw is good. Now it's a 6-point lead again. Quickly down the court, long 3, and that's not going to matter because they called a travel. Coach Volmer not happy about it. It did look like O'Brien shuffled her feet a little bit. Now Fort Scott. They've got a 2-on-1 if they want to use it. They're going to pull it back out and run a little bit of clock time. That's probably a smart move there by Abby Gorman. Now Brown gets it back to Comstock, over to J.C. Rogers. Got to deal with this pressure, but they don't. It's knocked away and stolen by Labette. They'll go all the way to the other end. Now kick it back out. Jones steps back. 3-pointer on the way is good with 25 seconds left, and Labette will call a timeout. That's Nevaeh Jones' first field goal of the night. It's back to a 3-point game, 53-50. The Tiger boys beat Labette County by only 3 in Altamont earlier this season after the Lady Tigers had a pretty impressive first game against the Lady Grizzlies. Now the Lady Tigers leading by 3. Boys game again coming up in just a little bit, so stay tuned for that. Again, don't forget we will stop the broadcast after the girls' game. We'll get through some post-game stuff, stop the broadcast, and then we will reset things for the boys' game. So if you're watching us, whatever you're watching us on Duckbait TV, be sure to give us about 5 minutes or so after the conclusion of the broadcast here to get things reset, and then reset your or refresh your device, what you're watching us on, whether that is your television, whether that's your phone, tablet, computer, whatever you're watching us on Duckbait TV on. Give us about 5 minutes or so after the contest and after we end the broadcast, and refresh your device, and it should be set and ready for the boys' game coming up in just a little bit. A lot on the line for the Tiger boys as well this evening. Some of that is out of their hands down in Pittsburgh tonight as well. We'll tell you more about that as we go along. Here's pass, and it's too long. It's picked off by Labette. They get it inside. Shot there is good. It's back to a 1-point game, and Labette's going to call their last timeout. So Jaden Davis hits the shot. It's a 1-point Tiger lead now. Part of the good news is I believe that's the final timeout for Labette County. So they will be out of timeouts now for the next 12.6 seconds. So Fort Scott set up the scenario here. They've got to get it inbounds. They will have a 10-second clock on them because there's 12 seconds left in the game. So they will have to get it across the timeline. But Labette is going to, I'm sure, pressure like they've been doing here in this game. They're going to pressure. They're going to see if they can get a turnover. And if Fort Scott gets it into the front court, they're probably going to foul and make Fort Scott go to the free throw line. 12 seconds to go, 12.6 seconds to go. Lady Tigers, I think, trying to learn on that previous inbounds play from the Topeka Hayden game from a year ago. Unfortunately, this one didn't work out for Fort Scott either. Inbounds play comes to Kylie Comstock, and it's stolen away. Puts up a shot. It's no good, but a foul. And it'll be free throws for Labette County. You've got to take care of the basketball, and the Lady Tigers have not done that well here in the fourth quarter. It'll be the second foul of the night on J.C. Rogers. First free throw is no good. Fort Scott still has a chance here. Landry O'Brien missed the first one. Second one on the way is good. 8.6 seconds to go. We're tied at 53. Inbounds play comes in. Keegan all the way down the floor. She'll put one up. It's no good. Put back is good! And the foul with 1/10 of a second left. Ellen Brown with the bucket! What a play! What a play by Allie Brown and the Lady Tigers. For all the good the Labette County's defense has done all night, they let Keegan Yorick go all the way to the bucket. Did not stop her. She missed the shot, but Allie Brown, nope, they're going to have to put that 10th back on the clock. Allie tried to throw it off the backboard and create a rebound, and that's a smart play, but it's got to hit the rim. It's got to hit the rim, or it's an automatic turnover. So now they can't get a shot off with 1/10 of a second here. They can only do a tip. And there it is, and we're done. So Fort Scott, who has had their issues in the last couple of years of not capitalizing, not making good on the last second scenarios, get it done tonight. What a last play there by Fort Scott. Allie Brown in the right place at the right time. Keegan Yorick with the miss on the bunny, but Allie there to get the shot, put it in just before the horn, and Fort Scott comes away with a victory here tonight, 55-53. And again, the things that we talked about, Fort Scott, I believe, has now clinched at least a share of the SEK League Championship. They have also, I believe, clinched home court advantage for the sub-state, which means they will be at least in the top 4, and they will not have to leave the Tiger Dome until they get an opportunity to go to Salina for the 4A state tournament. So Fort Scott with an impressive victory here tonight, even though it was a nail-biter. Fort Scott does come away with a win, 55-53. So again, your final score here tonight, the Fort Scott Lady Tigers do hold off the Labette County Lady Grizzlies. The final 55-53. Let's give you your point totals, at least what we've got in the book for the Lady Tigers here tonight. Led by Keegan Yarrick, 25 points for Keegan again here tonight. And then Kylie Comstock had 10, Allie Brown with 12, including the final two there that won the game. And then Abby Gorman 4, Claire McElroy 3, and J.C. Rogers had 1. She got a free throw earlier in this game tonight. So, again, a big victory here for the Lady Tigers. As, again, if my math is correct, Fort Scott has clinched a share, at least a share, of the SCK League Championship. They're 3 games up with 3 games to go over Labette, who they've got the tiebreaker with for the double win there, win down in Altamont and here in Fort Scott. So they'll clinch a share of the STK League crown, and then also, I believe, if my math is right, and that's always suspect, but Fort Scott should be in the clinch themselves a top 4 position. Now they're still the number 1 in the E4A East standings, and they could finish there. Depending on how things play out, and would love to finish there, I'm sure. But I do believe they'll be in the top 4 no matter what, which means if you're in the top 4, then you play at home both games for sub-state, for sure. So looking forward to that coming up for the Lady Tigers. So, again, a big win here for the Fort Scott Lady Tigers as they get the victory here, 55-53 over the Labette County Lady Grizzlies. We're going to take a short break and stop the broadcast here and then come back, reset things, get things ready for the guys' game coming up in just a little bit. So make sure to stay tuned for that. Give us about 5 minutes or so and then refresh your device, and we should be up and running for the boys' game here in just a little bit. Again, the Lady Tigers with the win over Labette County here tonight, 55-53. This has been Lady Tiger Basketball.